I hate wind. It's the only element that has the audacity to steal your favorite hat and then whistle mockingly as it disappears over the horizon. Every spring, my backyard in the Midwest becomes a charity donation center for the neighbors' trash, and my patio furniture has spent more time in the air than a seasoned flight attendant. I'm tired of the Tornado Alley lifestyle, so I decided to fight back. If a tornado is just a big rotating pile of wind, then surely a big enough fan blowing in the opposite direction should cancel it out. It's basic vector addition. It's simple. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Now, I didn't just buy a desk fan from a local hardware store. That would be like trying to stop a charging rhino with a wet noodle. I needed something with oomph. I needed the Goliath 3000. I called Physics. Physics arrived looking concerned, mostly because I was currently trying to weld 8 jet engine turbines to a central hub in my driveway. To build a fan capable of challenging a tornado, we had to ignore every building code ever written. Our fan is 60 meters wide, powered by a small dedicated nuclear reactor I borrowed from a decommissioned submarine, and has blades made of a carbon fiber titanium weave. When we turned it on for a test, it accidentally deforested the neighboring county. Perfect, I said. Now we wait for a cloud with an attitude. The opportunity arrived on a humid Tuesday. A massive charcoal gray wall of clouds began to rotate, and a funnel started to reach down like the finger of an angry god. It was an EF-4, a monster capable of leveling skyscrapers and turning a blade of grass into a lethal projectile. This thing was packing an energy output of roughly 10 to the 14th power joules. For those of you who don't speak nerd, that's more energy than a medium-sized atomic bomb. And it was heading straight for my mailbox. Physics was frantically checking his clipboard, his muscular arms trembling. "The math doesn't look good," he grunted. But I didn't care about math. I cared about my lawn chairs. I flipped the giant red switch labeled "Blow Back." As the Goliath 3000 reached full RPM, the sound was like a choir of angels screaming into a jet intake. We weren't just moving air, we were creating a localized jet stream. For a few glorious seconds, it actually looked like it was working. The leading edge of the tornado hit our wall of air and wavered. It was a battle of titans. My fan was pushing out millions of cubic feet of air per second, trying to disrupt the low-pressure core of the storm. But here's the problem with trying to fight a tornado. A tornado isn't just wind, it's a heat engine. It's powered by the massive temperature difference between the ground and the sky. My fan was just providing more fuel. By blowing air into the storm, I wasn't stopping it, I was feeding it fresh, high-velocity oxygen. I was basically giving the tornado a turbocharger. Then came the twist. The Goliath 3000 started to vibrate. Physics pointed out that our carbon fiber blades were designed for normal air, not for a storm that was currently throwing a 1994 Ford F-115 at us. The first truck hit the fan at 200 miles per hour. The result wasn't a clink, it was an explosion. One of our 60-meter blades snapped under the impact. Because the fan was spinning at near supersonic speeds, the broken blade didn't just fall, it became a relativistic guillotine. The remaining blades, now horribly unbalanced, tore the entire structure apart in a millisecond. My peacekeeping fan had just transformed into a high-velocity shrapnel machine. Suddenly, the tornado wasn't just a threat of wind and rain, it was a spinning vortex of 50,000 jagged pieces of titanium weave shrapnel, each traveling at Mach 1. It was like a giant atmospheric lawnmower designed by a caffeinated demon. This was the escalation I hadn't planned for. The storm swallowed our shrapnel and began to use it to sandblast the landscape. It didn't just knock down houses anymore, it shredded them into molecular dust. Physics and I were hunkered down in a bunker made of lead-lined concrete, watching through a periscope as my neighbor's obnoxious neon pink garden gnomes were turned into a fine mist of ceramic glitter by my own invention. But, as always with my experiments, there was a silver lining, an ironic, twisted, glorious silver lining. You see, while the shrapnel vortex was busy erasing the county from the map, it achieved something I'd been trying to do for years. The sheer kinetic energy of the flying titanium blades created a massive amount of friction in the air. This friction generated an incredible amount of heat, so much heat that it actually started to disrupt the temperature gradient that was keeping the tornado alive. The storm basically cooked itself from the inside out. The shrapnel acted like a giant heat sink, absorbing the storm's energy and throwing it back into the atmosphere until the vortex simply collapsed. It wasn't a graceful stop. It was a sudden, violent implosion that dumped 20,000 tons of shredded metal, pulverized wood, and 3 of my neighbor's cows directly onto the local IRS building. The shrapnel had also perfectly leveled the forest that blocked my view of the sunset, and more importantly, it had completely obliterated the no parking signs on my street that I'd been complaining about since 2012. The final result? I am currently standing in a wasteland that looks like it was hit by a giant angry blender, but I am the victor. The tornado is gone, my lawn is clear, mostly because there is no lawn left, just a smooth layer of titanium-dusted dirt. The Goliath 3000 is now just a pile of expensive scrap metal, but my student loan provider's regional office was in the direct path of the shrapnel tornado, and their server room is now part of the stratosphere. I'm debt-free, my view is improved, and I finally have the ultimate positive ending. I've proven that you can stop a tornado with a fan, provided you're willing to turn the entire zip code into a confetti factory. I took a deep breath of the metallic-smelling air, ignored the sirens in the distance, and sat down on a jagged piece of titanium that used to be a fan blade. It wasn't exactly a lawn chair, but it was mine, and for the first time in my life, it was perfectly quiet. No wind, no neighbor's music, just the sweet, silent sound of total, unintended success. Best Tuesday ever.